For this part of the lesson, we're going to be refocusing on fractions, just like from our mental math part of the lesson. This time the fractions are going to be within story problems. We're going to do number 1 together, then you're going to solve number 2 and 3 on your own, and then put your answers into the questions on the Google form. Question number 1 says, Marta is making barbecued chicken. The barbecue sauce recipe calls for 2/8 cup of mustard, 3/8 cup of lemon juice, and 2/8 cup of brown sugar. Altogether, how many cups of ingredients are required for the sauce? Let's use cubes to help us figure out what to do. First, I want to circle all the numbers in the problem. We've got 2/8 cup of mustard, 3/8 cup of lemon juice, and 2/8 cup of brown sugar. Then we want to underline the question. Altogether, how many cups of ingredients are required for the sauce? Those math words all together tell us we're going to be adding. So when I go down to the number model with the unknown, I'm going to start with my first fraction. 2/8 plus the second fraction, 3/8 plus 2/8 equals, and then my unknown, I'm just going to say C since we're going to be reporting our answer in cups. Make sure that you are writing all of this in your math journal as well. To get my answer, since my denominators already are the same, we just have to add the numerators. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. That lets me know my answer is 7/8 cups of ingredients are required for this recipe. You're going to do the same thing on problem number 2 and problem number 3, but you're going to do them on your own. Don't forget to use the cube strategy. Write your number model with the unknown, and then write your answer on the answer line. Once you have solved problems 2 and 3, you can move on and restart your video, and then in the end, write your answers in the questions on the Google form. So pause your video now to solve problems number 2 and 3. For the second part of page 230, you can skip number 4 and number 5. I think you had enough practice on problems number 2 and 3. Then for number 6 through 13, we're just going to solve a few of those. I would like you to just solve 10, 11, 12, and 13. So you can mark out 6, you can mark out 7, you can mark out 8, and you can mark out 9. You just need to solve 10, 11, 12, and 13. 10 and 11 should be pretty easy once you make the denominators match. Problems number 12 and 13 are going to be a little tricky. Let's look at number 12 together, just so you remember what to do. When I'm solving a problem where I add 2 mixed numbers, like in number 12, I like to start by adding the whole numbers first. So 3 plus 4 equals 7. Then I add the 2 fractions. And since the denominators of the fractions already match, I just have to add the numerators. So 2 plus 2 equals 4 with a denominator of 3. Now I'm sure as you're looking at this, you notice that 4/3 is an improper fraction. The numerator is larger than the denominator. So what you have to do is change that improper fraction to a mixed number. Or take away a whole from that fraction, add it to the 7, and then keep whatever is left over as your fraction. So when I look at 4/3, I know that's bigger than a whole because 3/3 is a whole. So if I take out 3/3 or 1 whole and add it to my 7, my whole number then becomes an 8. I've taken a whole or 3/3 away from 4/3, so 4/3 minus the whole, which is 3/3, gives me how much left over? 1/3. So my answer when I convert my improper fraction to a mixed number is now 8 and 1/3. So you're going to need to use that same strategy when working on problem number 13. You can pause the video now and work on problems 10, 11, and 13 on your own. You will then be putting those answers into the Google form questions to show me that you understood what to do on these problems.